Hi, folks. I want to take my time today to talk about getting kids involved. We are fortunate in our program that our we have classes all day to get kids in. They can take it for an elective credit. They can try it out, and that often hooks kids into our after-school program, which can also be taken for audit credit. So it goes on their transcripts, so colleges can see that they are active in doing things, although it doesn't figure into their GPA after the first class. They can repeat it, but um, so that's because they can repeat over and over again. That was kind of our not our because we would much prefer it be credited class all the way through. But that was the compromise that the fine arts department made with uh, the school district so that kids can't stack their GPA because uh, once you're hooked, you're hooked. Um, But if you don't have that mechanism, it's about getting kids interested and getting them to volunteer. And how do you do that? Friends talk to friends. Uh, Giving kids the sandbox to play in is huge. Giving them a safe place where they can come, try things out, make mistakes, be bigger than life, try on different personalities for a better lack of a better term. And I don't mean being somebody vastly different, but the middle school, high school age, kids are trying to figure out who they are, and giving them that space is huge. For us backstage, you have for every kid that wants to be out in front of everybody, you've got probably three or four kids that don't want the spotlight. And we offer that. And they can be a part of creating the art without ever having to feel like they have to put their face out there. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they start backstage and sneak their way on stage or audition, and that's fun to watch. Sometimes they go the other direction. I was one of those kids that went the other direction. I started on stage and discovered I really loved being backstage. So let them come. Let them come. Don't worry about don't worry so much about their grades. Don't worry about um, their backgrounds. Don't worry about honestly, don't worry about what you've heard from other teachers about the kid because some of my best students are trouble for everybody else because they need that place to explore who they are and to create and to realize that that energy that they're putting into being loud and obnoxious in other classes actually serves us pretty well. That energy is what we need. They just need some focus and they need some direction. So you have to be prepared to provide them with focus and direction because they don't come preloaded. None of them come preloaded, especially now. After 2 years of pandemic, they don't come preloaded with any knowledge of how to interact with each other, work together, be timely, and create. But we can give them that, and we should be giving them that. There are a lot of really good resources. USITT has, I've said it before, has great resources. They partner with they are starting to partner with OSHA. Now, we don't fall under OSHA, but it's good to know those guidelines. That's a lot of rules. So if your program is strictly volunteer, um, don't be overwhelmed by it. Safety is always the primary thing, both the physical safety of the students and the security of them being comfortable working in the environment. Because if you provide them with the safe space that they know they're not going to get chastised or yelled at or or belittled for trying new things and failing at new things, then they are going to be much more likely to listen to you. So start small. Start with build projects and creative projects that you are comfortable managing. Uh, Listen to their ideas. They have great ideas. Don't be afraid to try some of them, and don't be afraid to let them know that you're not always going to use their ideas, but you want to hear them. Keep a keep a chalkboard or a whiteboard or a Promethean board, or even a notebook of their ideas so they can write things down. They can be a part of it. Um, I have now, again, it's been about 6 months with, fully in-person school again, and I'm just now starting to get those relationships going with my students where they feel comfortable coming up to me and saying, "Hey, could we try this?" And sometimes it's, "Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do that." And sometimes it's, "No, we're going to do it my way." Sometimes because I know it's faster, sometimes because I know it's safer. Um, Sometimes it's literally just because, no, this is my design or this is the designer's design. I'm not always the designer. Um, but this is the design that we're going with. But you have a good idea, and let's keep that kind of in the pool of ideas so we can come back to it later. Um, we also have our high school has a VOTEC program, CTE. It's not called VOTEC anymore. Dating myself with my terminology. Uh, and those kids like to get their hands dirty. I've got a lot of kids that come across from that program because our shop tends to be more active. There are we are building to the shows. They are working to curriculum, and so their structure is a lot more rigid than ours. So they can come over and, as I tell them at the beginning of the year, it's all the same tools and none of the same build techniques. So, but they have a lot of good base skills that then you can teach them how to build for theater, which is not the same as building a house. Um, so um, get them to bring their friends. Again, don't shoot anybody down just for showing up. That's not who we are. That's not who we want to be. We are about cooperation. We are about creation. And then make sure that you are starting from your comfort level. And if you need help with that, reach out for resources because the resources are out there. Um, Colleges, small theaters, uh, you can find us on Facebook. Uh, there are multiple people who are willing and able to make sure that your theater is successful because what helps what helps at the high school level, what helps at the middle school level, um, if nothing else, creates adults in the future who appreciate the work that goes into the art and who will take their kids to see it because they had a positive experience. So you will create, if nothing else, you will create people who love and appreciate theater, even if they never go into it, never entertain it as a career, and they will remember it forever. So, all right, have a great day, everybody. Thanks for listening.